Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this out there on the World Wide Web. This is Jeremy Geelan for SYS-CON TV. We're here at the 7th Cloud Expo, Silicon Valley. We have Compuware's Mark Hillman with us, a fount of information, almost fresh from doing on a lovely general session, which got a really huge crowd and a big response. Talking of big, Cloud Expo has done pretty well,
I must say,
in the last few years. Have you seen, Mark, I mean, you seem to be like an anthropologist of the space as much as anything. Are you having any epiphanies, any aha moments from pacing around the floor and talking to all these people?
Absolutely. I guess, you know, the first thing is, as you said, the crowd change from this year to last is remarkable. Congratulations. Wow. But I think the amazing part is the quality of the conversation. A year ago or so, the conversation was basics, right? What's this, what's that? This year, the questions and the comments are very, very insightful. Clearly, there's been a shocking change in a year in how fast the adoption has come along and how quickly people are learning what to do. And now the hard questions sit out there. What exactly do I do? How do I manage the applications? How do I manage these suppliers? So I don't think that I would have expected to see this much progress in a year out of the community.
You are free to say that the cloud computing world is surprisingly successful, or that Cloud Expo is the same. It's okay to be surprised sometimes.
I agree. I think what may be driving it is the relevance, meaning, think about this. The basics are, what is it that runs across the internet and cloud, right? These tend to be top-line related topics. They're affecting customers, revenue, market share, and brand. They're really the most important things to the consuming enterprise out into that market. So, as we've come out of the recession, people are spending on top line.
Just say that again slowly so that people can savor it. As we've come out of the recession.
We have.
You heard it here first.
It's true, and the data supports that, but the perception lags. In any event, people are absolutely spending on top line. We see that in our business, but what's happened is it's almost been an accelerant to the spend, because I'm not going to do it inside, I'm going to do it outside, and here we go, right?
It's a sort of counterintuitive thing, but you're right, we're seeing it.
It is. So we see companies now saying, I'm going to do computing fundamentally differently, and I'm moving outside of the data center, keep some things in, of course, and a lot more outside into the internet, into the cloud. And it's a big transition. So we've seen our business, therefore, turn very significantly, because we measure all that stuff, right? We measure the web. We do 1 billion measurements a month. A billion is a big number.
Yeah, 1 billion is a pretty big number.
It is a big number. And from 150,000 sites around the world, consumer-grade PCs, backbone nodes. And so people really care about those core, most important applications. I tell you, the other thing that I think that you see when you listen to everyone is, over the last 10 years, what's the big story in IT, right? It's all consumer side, right? Facebook and Twitter and so on.
Yeah, we're great believers in enterprise, you know that.
But actually, so what I think is actually going to happen is that consumer trend is intersecting the enterprise. As they start to figure out how to affect the top line, they're incorporating some of these strategies, these technology approaches into the enterprise. And I predict, you check on me, I predict that we see a significant increase in enterprise IT spend, significant, over the next couple of years.
Now, come on, that does not do it. You've got to do the Gartner, where I say there'll be 23.72 billion.
I'll give you, now where am I getting this data from? But I'll give you a number. My number is, I project for next year, for the next 12 months, we'll see an 8% increase in IT spend at the top line.
Like that.
Right? And I project over the next 5 years, we see that sustained at a roughly 10% level for the next 5 years, which is unprecedented.
It's unprecedented, and it's very bold, and we will hold you to it. And the best of all, but you know, you can check this out, because I know you're someone, you can not prove, but you can base that on your sense of what the drivers are, and they're all present. So just go over them again. This sort of perfect storm, how do you break it down?
All right, so number one.
I mean, I like that, you know, the enterprise consumer thing. What else?
So the companies are trying to reach their customers. Ultimately, that's
it's almost that simple.
It really is that simple. And then a whole bunch of technology came forward, right? We have mass scale bandwidth. Thank God, the guys like Cisco and so on, right? And we had all this automation that's come, but I think the big trigger on cloud computing was the inspiration that came from these mega guys, right? The Google, Amazon vision that an enterprise guys never really said. Think of the idea of managing servers counted in hundreds of thousands, right? And they've broken a lot of the model of what we were going to do inside our own companies.
So you see those giants as the disruptors?
Absolutely. But now the market's matured a different way. Companies have taken that basic concept and now they're putting services and differentiation and new capability around them, and it's accelerating.
You're saying you're putting them as the catalyst, which is right. That's a nice take.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now the challenge and the discussions in this session have been really about, honest to God, now how am I going to manage this, right? We're at a new level, and that's the business that we're in. Is we believe that the core shift, if you're the CIO and you used to always have this stuff in your four walls, and now 2/3 of it's outside. Right. Honest to God, how are you going to keep the promise to the business? I used to be able to see it and manage it. It comes down to visibility, visibility, visibility of your applications and how they're doing, and of those suppliers.
Which has always been your hugest opportunity, so you're pretty cool about all that.
We think that the ball's coming to us. We couldn't be more excited, but the ability to help our customers fundamentally change their IT model and have the visibility and leverage that big change is a profound shift. And so in order to do it well, they need that visibility to all those tiers. The complexity has changed so much, and that's what we provide the visibility to. And if I can do a tiny commercial here, we've woven...
Yeah, you've got real stuff. Come on, you're allowed to tell. You've got big announcements and things.
We do. We've woven the web side measurement and the data center together in one view because, again, if you're going to keep the promise, how do you do that across both sides? So we've put that together, only company in the world to provide that kind of visibility. And then this is really a help for all the customers out there is we said people are still struggling with the answers, and we put up a free service, a website called cloudsleuth.net, where we're trying to create an open community, and we've invited our competitors, so if you see any, tell them to come join us and say, can we honest to God get solutions in front of people that are live, running examples where people can say, I do this, I add a CDN in, how much faster does it get? How can I actually affect those applications in a live form? We're asking partners and everybody to come help the customers solve this stuff in a real form.
Cloudsleuth.net, it should be said, launched at a previous Cloud Expo, so we feel ownership here and we want it to succeed. Launched here and flourishing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much. Mark Hillman from Compuware, and thank you for joining us out here in Silicon Valley from wherever you've been watching on the World Wide Web.